Hi. So I'm currently sitting in what is my new art studio. I'm gonna be doing my makeup and then just kind of telling y'all how this came to be and kind of like my hopes and dreams for this space. I used to do a lot of makeup on here, and believe it or not, like my routine has become so minimal. You're gonna be surprised. But anyways, for starters, I like to use Pixie Skin Tint. So the last time that I made a video, I was in another art studio space. That place eventually had to move from that building because of the city took it away. I'm not gonna go too into that, but basically my studio dream was kind of very short-lived. It was pretty nice while it lasted. It was like 10 minutes from my house, and because of my work schedule, I couldn't really be there often. I used it as much as I could, but it wasn't like easily accessible for me. But I did mourn it a little bit because I was like towards the end, I was finally getting into the habit. And it's just so nice to have an art studio and have somewhere to like put all your art stuff and not like cram it into your home. But essentially, yeah, I moved out of there. Well, everybody moved out of there. Next, I go in with, this is my favorite bronzer, e.l.f. Glow Beauty Wand in light medium. So I was without a studio for a good minute. I can't off the top of my head like know how long, but in that time, like I've still obviously been doing art shows and all out of my little corner in my house, which I'll show here, like some of the things that I was working on. Obviously, like it didn't stop me from continuing these endeavors, because prior to that, like I was working out of my kitchen as well, so it was like whatever, you know what I mean? Esa cosa del arte pues no es un hobby para mí, you know, like I'm actually like doing work, I'm in shows, like I get commissions. It's not a full-time thing, or I would even say a part-time thing, but I think it's also because of my lack of space. So I've been searching for a studio space, and that specific studio where I was like the only affordable art studios like near where I live. I live in a very small rural city that has like basically no arts district, no arts, nothing, nada. And which is sad, but like not uncommon, right? All of last year, 2024, I had not like seriously been looking, but I've just been keeping an eye out. And one day I was passing by this like commercial building where earlier in the year I came to find out that my mom's landlord owns this big old building, and they have an upstairs that I've never seen rented. So I thought I would just go in and ask, just like throw it out there, like what's the vibe, what's going on. I just went in like unprepared. For some reason I just got into this, like it was like towards the end of last year where I got into weird like bursts of energy where I was like, hey, I need to be more productive. So I was like, be brave, just go in, just ask, it won't hurt. And I just like kind of presented it like if she would let me rent one of the units and turn it into an art studio, so it wouldn't necessarily be a business, but it would just be like a personal space where like me and other artists could share and just like work out of it. This is the Milani cream blush in Chef's Cheek Kiss. It's my favorite blush. Anyways, so le pregunté and I was just like, hey, can I do this? And she was like, yeah, as long as you pay rent, like blah blah. Super open to it. She just told me that there was like 2 units that were gonna be open in like early next year, early January 2025. And as soon as like the first week of January hit, I was like, I'm gonna go and ask if I could like tour the spots. I only went to go see the other unit, but she basically was like, oh, it's the exact same, like it's the same floor plan. It's a 600 square feet space with a little like office nook right there and then a restroom. So I was like, okay, and I get to choose between it facing like the main street or the back, and I really had to grapple with like just figuring out my pros and cons to seeing what would work best. I ended up deciding the one facing the main road. Mind you, like, I hadn't even checked it out. Like, I didn't know, but you could see through the window and it looked fairly decent to me. Like, it looked a little even better than the one in the back. So la neta, I was just like, yeah, give it to me. Because I also didn't want it to like get rented out fast. I was a little bit impulsive, not gonna lie, but I had some money saved up from 2 paintings that I had sold, and then I used my like claim money from this car incident to put down first month's rent and deposit. Thankfully I had that money saved up, if not like, but to me it just kind of seemed like things were falling into place and aligning. I was gonna make it work no matter what. Didn't have any savings, still don't have savings, don't have money, but like, I'm gonna make it work. That's just my thought process. Pues ni modo. I mean, it's one of those things where it won't happen if you don't just go ahead and jump on it. So this is the, you know, the benefit brow pencil. So before I had even rented this, I had brought it up to other artist friends if they wanted to go in, you know, like, it wasn't just gonna be for myself, because obviously it would help the cost, right? So I wouldn't have to be paying the rent by myself, but also just to like share space with other artists and also use this space for community work as well. So having it set up to where we can like also have folks have meetings in here, workshops, etc., but all relating to like art and social justice efforts, because clearly like we're lacking these spaces where I live. So it's like we could even form a collective, we could apply for grants as a group, like así, algo de ese vibe, okay? I ended up connecting like with one friend in specific who's a ceramicist, who we're gonna be sharing the space together. I narrowed it down to just like 2 of us because I also want to host art shows in here. As you can see, it's like white walls. I want to separate the space in half and make some like walls to be able to close it off a little bit and then have it be like a little gallery. I recently like have dipped my toes into some curation and I really like it. And while, like I said before, we just don't have support, like art support. There's like 1 or 2 arts organizations, but even then, like, their space is limited as well. They don't have like a gallery spot. So I have like big dreams for this space. Like, I want to be able to host like affordable, low cost, even free art workshops, maybe some private art classes. I don't know, I'm in a very transitional phase of my life right now. I just got let go from one of the jobs that I've had for a cool couple of years. No sé, I'm like, it just means that I have to put in more work into this space and seeing how it goes. Because again, like, as much as I am an artist, I have always had other jobs to be able to maintain, to live. But I just made the jump. Like, I feel like this space has so much potential for me and my friends and other local artists. Like I said, it just takes one person to take the jump, make the jump, and just do it. I'm using my brow pencil. Y pues, la neta, no sé, I mean, I ran into some roadblocks already. Like I said, I didn't look at this spot before signing the contract and turning in my keys. I mean, I didn't look at the space before signing the contract. And no, actually, I got the keys and then I turned in the contract like a day later, 2 days later. So I did see the space before signing the contract, and to my surprise, there was a lot of issues with the space because it used to be a botanica. For some reason, I don't know what the woman who owned this spot was doing here before, but it was covered in smoke, and I had to replace the sink, and I had to paint the restroom, and I had to replace these fluorescent lights. And again, like I said, I had like no budget for it, but like from my little salary, my little jobs that I have, like I set aside some money to be able to slowly make these repairs. And then of course, like my friend who's going to be in here is helping with that as well. And I don't know, I feel like I also have a lot of community. Like I said, it's not just for me, you know, it's for my friends, for my neighbors, for community. And I think, you know, si necesito algo, it's not like I don't feel like I could ask help, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just wanted to like put this out there because I am going to be recording the whole process, all the shit that I have to do in here as like a space owner. And then if we do go into like, if we do make the transition into opening it up to the public, planning art shows, like I want to be able to document it as like a reference for other people who want to do the same things. Look out for those things. I make no promises, but obviously it's been like a minute since I last posted. But now this is super real. Obviously it's a huge commitment. It's a lease, and I feel like it's gonna be great and beautiful. So yeah, here are my keys. I put them on my little boo-boo from the swap meet because I lose my keys all the time. Well, thank you for watching. Follow along on this journey. It's gonna be really cute if you want. Okay, bye.